Welcome to today's episode where we go deeper into the top challenge of modern motherhood. In the previous episode, I talked about the three top challenges of modern motherhood, which are number one, the lack of support, number two, the expectations. That when we try to comply with them all, it's really a killer. And the third, it's the information overload, the information tsunami that because of that, it's just so easy to feel overwhelmed and anxious all of the time and just simply not good enough because you're comparing yourself to trends. But today, we dive deeper into the very first one, which is lack of support. So start here that there is nothing wrong with you if you feel that it's so fucking tiring and exhausting. Because it is. Because we don't have that village. We live in a modern world where we are connected, but still, as mothers, we feel isolated and left alone. So, this is one of the biggest challenges of motherhood. And if we don't normalize talking about it, and if we don't find the solution for ourselves, then it can go on and on and on that you feel exhausted, tired, and not good enough because you just cannot be there 24/7 with a smile in your face, on your face, and with like literally all of the energy that you would expect that you bring into the lives of your kids and into motherhood. Because let's face it, that is just fucking impossible. So, when you are thinking about why it's so easy to tell ourselves that we are not good enough, that we are just simply not doing enough for our kids, with our kids, because it is simply impossible to do all of it alone. If you don't have that support net that you can just easily have access to, a grandparent that you can just ask to pop by because you would just like to go for a walk or to go to a gym or you would like to have a coffee with your friend. You don't have the aunties, the cousins living next door where literally it was just so normal to raise these kids together. In the village that they are talking about, there were always people just picking up the kid when they fall or the baby just to be in their arms and to feel the closeness, the connection with the body. It's not there. Like you are there alone and you are supposed to really take care of that baby, take care of that little human being, change the diapers, feed them, be the entertainment, like 100% of the time, be there for them. And then you're questioning why you feel exhausted and tired. And even sometimes it goes on like you are maybe a stay-at-home mom and you are at home with your toddler and the baby or with your toddler. And then you are the entertainment. You are creating everything at home. You are cooking the meal, you are doing the laundry, you are focusing on the kid and their development, and you are giving of yourself 24/7, which is like just not sustainable. This is not what we can do because it simply is a recipe to burnout. And in modern motherhood, what happens is like we can have the feeling of we have support because we can just Google things or we can have mom groups, which are in many ways amazing. But in so many other ways, it is not really helping you in the very moment when you are, for example, struggling either physically or mentally. What do I talk about here? So let's say you have in front you have a really big decision in front of you that you want to make, that you have to make. If you go to a mommy group, for example, in Facebook, and you ask for their opinions, I am sure, I mean, that is what I see over and over and over again. Also, my clients, when they tell me more about that, you're going to be like not in a better place. afterwards. In some cases, when it's really just a practical question, how did you do it? I just want to know more about, like if it's information gathering, yes, sure. But if it's really a big decision you want to make, and then you ask that in a mommy group, you are going to end up with a bunch of opinions, left and right, pro and con. And you will just feel that, okay, now I have even more opinion and pro and con, and maybe some other thoughts that makes me anxious. But I'm not closer to actually making the decision. So in that case, you would definitely need somebody, a support that helps you with the wisdom so you can connect with your own wisdom to make that decision. If you are struggling physically, like you just really need a half an hour physically to yourself to be able to just leave the house, to have a walk, to have that chat with your friend, then you need somebody there. You need a babysitter, you need the grandma, you need somebody to literally take over so you can leave physically the house. And that is what I think the hardest part is when you are a mom trying to do it all alone, is that you are even shaming yourself and you are feeling so guilty even for wanting to have that break. But when you are thinking about that in an ideal world, where we would have the village, where we would have the support network, it would be just normal to be a human with human basic needs. So you can go to pee alone. You can have a shower. You can have a warm meal. You can have a warm coffee. You can just have a chat, a vent with your friend. It's not selfish. It's not something too much you ask for. It's simple, basic needs because you are not a robot who can run on 24/7. So the reality is that we don't have that support village. We don't have that. So now what do we do about it? Because whining about it and complaining about it is not really going to help. So we want to do something about it. So, first, this is why I started with just really validating your feelings that if you feel tired, super exhausted, and like you just keep falling short, you're just not good enough because you just cannot do it all alone by yourself, then there's nothing wrong with you because you are not supposed to do it all alone 24/7 without any support. Okay? And then let's dive a little bit more into the solution. Like, what can you do? Because the fact is that maybe you are living abroad and you don't have grandparents nearby, or you are living in a different state, you are different in a different country, or even within the same country, you can just live so far away from your parents, from grandparents, that it is just not really so accessible for you to call grandma just to pop by. And that is the reality in modern motherhood. So, there are three ways that I want to share with you today how you can create more support in your life, how you can feel less isolated, less exhausted, and you can feel more supported in your motherhood journey. The number one is really accept who you are, what's your personality, what's your capacity, and make decisions accordingly. So, what do I mean by this? I have seen moms struggling because they were just not admitting who they are, who they were, what they wanted, what their desires would have been because of the expectations. I'm going to talk about the expectations also later on, much more in depth. But when you are accepting who you are, let's say you are an ambitious high flyer woman who cannot wait to return to work. And being at home for years with your baby is simply not for you. It's draining your energy, makes you feel super not good enough and anxious and overwhelmed and like a shitty bad mother because you are just not enjoying the baby phase that much how you should. Here, hear me saying the expectations there, the internal expectations. So when you accept who you are, in that case, it would be to hire a nanny or to simply look for a daycare and then start working again if you want to. You can also accept that you are a motherly mother type who just wants to be at home with her baby and loving being a stay-at-home mom. But at the same time, you don't want to do it all alone by yourself. So, anyhow, you are with the baby and you really enjoy it, but you hire cleaning help, you hire other help that makes your life easier because you refuse to do it all alone 24/7. So just accept who you are, make decisions accordingly because we were never meant to do it all alone 24/7 without a break and without the support. The number two, this is the way how you can create more support in your motherhood journey when you create a support net. Like make mom friends, go out and go to play dates. Check out what really is available for you locally. Like it can be local mom friends, it can be play dates, it can be memberships, it can be different events they are offering, and make new friends. It's so normal and it's so common that when we become mothers and we may even live further away from our friends, then we don't have that same connection anymore. I'm not saying that your friendship won't survive because some friendships do, but it's also okay to change your friends because some will not want to come with you on that journey, and some are simply just way far away from you to really connect with them. I personally have, for example, great and my best friends since childhood. And even though we are not living in the same country, we connect, we share because we really value our friendship. So we want to keep each other in our lives. That's possible too. But I've seen many times also to lose friendships, and that can be also okay. But that doesn't mean that you need to be isolated or you need to do it all alone. That's why local mom friends are my number one go-to. But also, like, be a little bit more open-minded to Peanut app, to meet new ones, even to connect online, and then just have this feeling that you are not in all this shit all alone and isolated. Because I swear there are other mamas out there feeling the same way. So, because we don't have that support net, I encourage you to create one for yourself. And if you're struggling with, oh, I'm an introvert, I don't know how to make friends anymore, etc., again, you are not alone. I've seen this so many times, and there was so many moms telling me, like, oh my God, Esther, you are the first one that I'm actually talking about these things because I just haven't opened up. And then I get always curious, like, why? What are you afraid of? Maybe that other mom is just as afraid as you are, and we just have to get back on this making friends train, how easy it was as a child, and like having more curiosity and openness to just connect with that other person. And the third way how you can create more support in your motherhood journey is really hiring support. It can be mental support. So you hire a mental support any way that feels like that resonates with you. You can hire me as your mom coach. You can hire therapists. You can hire so many different experts now that can be there for you and really helping you emotionally and mentally to become the mom who you want to be, and without that pressure that you should just figure it out all by yourself. And you can also hire physical help, a childminder, a nanny, a babysitter. Like when you are not doing it, it's perfectly fine, but do it if you want to. Don't shame yourself. Don't expect yourself to do it all alone because this is what moms do. No, because in motherhood, we don't have that luxury of having that village. So we need to create our own support network. And that is just fine. This is what we have. This is the fact. And this is now on us to create support for ourselves. So, as a summary, don't expect yourself to do it all 24/7 perfectly, all alone, without support, because this is not what motherhood should look like. And then the second most important is dare to ask for support, dare to hire support, because we need support. We need each other. We need mom communities. And motherhood should not shrink you. Motherhood should not make you feel isolated, but find out the ways how you can create more support in your life because you deserve that. You deserve to have support. And no, you don't have to do it all alone by yourself. Thank you so much for listening in today. And I cannot wait to talk to you next time. Bye.